Miranda Cossette. She was a 16-year-old girl who probably wanted love, probably wanted to find connection, had some issues, but ultimately met up with this man, Stephen Gress, from Florida, the St. Petersburg area. And they met on the adult dating app Grindr. I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up a Grindr account in a couple minutes. But why is it that this girl met up? Why did she meet this man? And what happened? This man is now charged with her murder. And I will walk you through what I have found and collected on the internet as far as research goes. But generally speaking, she was held by the victim for over 7 days and tortured. There was some vicious stuff that happened, including the dismembering of her body. This is apparently security footage of this child going into this trunk of the car. This is security camera footage from this house. And this is from February of this year. This is my nephew's birthday. This is something that most people, can't fathom. They say, oh, it can't happen to me. But here it is, a child going in a trunk, deceased, all because she went on a dating app. So this is Stephen Gress, and here is the supposed accomplice, Michelle Brandis. They're both charged with murder and kidnapping. And apparently on Valentine's Day, this is when she went missing. Obviously, she was looking for a connection. There is video I'm going to put up on screen of what is purported to be Miranda in this same security camera.
We are very familiar with Miranda. We know that she is a frequent runaway, and she has a history of mental health issues as well as drug abuse. The grandmother is her primary caregiver at this time, and she said that she normally comes home, so she doesn't report her missing every time she leaves. She just didn't come back in a timely manner this time.
Of course, she didn't come back because she went on the dating app Grindr. So this is Grindr right here. And I'm downloading it to basically kind of show how easy it is to set up an account. Because this is where the root of the problem is. No verification except for verifying a phone number or the email address that I put in. Look, these are the terms of service. You're going to read all that? No, nobody's going to read all that crap. But this is how easy it is. Oh yeah, privacy issues, by the way, significant privacy issues here on Grindr and on all dating apps for that matter, because they love data. Now, I attempted to put in a birth year. This is iOS, and I thought that this was a fluke, but it's basically saying that you can't be 103 or whatever that was. And then I tried, what about a 4-year-old? So it's throwing up a warning every time you're putting in a birthday. It's basically saying a warning. So now it's allowing me as an 11-year-old. So here we go. No warnings. as an 11-year-old. It's basically saying green light. Oh, here we go. 141 partners. They call it partners. But generally, it's quite easy. And I wanted to see if it was a fluke. So I then tried it on Android. It's a little bit harder to set it up on Android because it doesn't have some of the privacy. So there's your Apple ID can be used on iOS, and that can be masking some of your personal information that gets sent. So it wants to, so here's a warning. It wants to use your data to train its AI models. Everybody, all these dating apps are now doing this built in. So it's basically making you opt in. And then here we go. My username is underager, and not a fluke, basically allowing a child to now connect with adults. And here's two adults, probably, presumably, I don't know, that were interested in this person named underager. Anyways, Miranda was murdered. There's no easy way to say that. And why is that? Police are saying that it was because there was a dispute, but she was basically being held there against her will. And this is part of the police report. Interestingly enough, there were witnesses essentially that saw this child huddled in the corner inside the living room. There's some video coming up of a woman who basically saw inside the living room and basically saw Miranda. Apparently, these people, the man who was arrested, when he was arrested, he was found to have meth on him, 13 grams of meth. That aside, that's no excuse, obviously, to murder someone. Miranda was obviously struggling. Maybe this played a role in getting this child lured to this person's house. Maybe. Who knows? This just turned 16-year-old had a child, had I believe an 11-month-year-old child. And that child will never have a mother again. There may be mother figures in this child's life, but now Miranda is gone because she went on a dating app, an adult dating app. This is
I suffocated this girl. Don't say any more here. Repeatedly beat the victim while holding her captive for 7 days and eventually suffocating her by wrapping plastic wrap around her face.
Mr. Gress placed her body in his car along with his domestic partner, Michelle Brandis, and they drove her to Largo.
Where's Michelle Brandis? Where's Michelle Brandis?
Thank you. We're done. Thank you. We're done.
So I was from his court appearance, his first court appearance, I believe. And then these are some images, I believe, from inside their house. This is a private investigator, Robert Crispin, who took these images. And just astounding. This is some video footage from the day that it looks like the body was put in the trunk. Miranda's body was put in the trunk. There's two additional people here. One of these is apparently the common law spouse or whatever partner. This is her. And the other person is unknown. There was apparently a few people that were text that were texted about this incident. People that were being asked basically for advice. And basically, these people were sent images, naked images, after this child had been sexually assaulted and beaten. Apparently, this is Miranda on February 17th. I tried to zoom in here on the next clip, but I mean, I don't know that I can get I tried to adjust the visuals here a little bit. I don't know that this is Miranda for sure, but I mean, I believe, police believe that this is her. Her body was dismembered and then put in garbage dumps, apparently. And maybe this is the harpoon. Apparently, there was like a harpoon involved in keeping her around. This obviously looks like, if this is Miranda, and I don't know that it is, but I mean, allegedly that's what it is. These people have been charged. They have not been found guilty, so keep that in mind. Apparently, there was a harpoon that was used to keep her in the house or here at this location. If this first occurred on February 17th, obviously, if this is Miranda, this doesn't look like, she has the ability right now to run away. She looks like she's kind of wanting to be there. If she met this person on a dating app, then, what is it that kept her here at this point? Who knows? I mean, with people that commit these kinds of acts, obviously you're thinking about psychopathy or just mental illness in general, but like maybe they had hooked her on meth. I would be surprised if meth isn't in the system. It wasn't in Miranda's system at some point in this first initial period. But then it was on February 24th that we obviously see her, or what appears to be a body, what police say is a body, going into this trunk of this Honda here. And yeah, it's a disturbing story. I mean, this looks like a weapon here. I don't know if this is the harpoon gun right here. And I mean, thankfully this video footage exists. I mean, I think both of these people were charged with murder before any body parts were found or any body was recovered. I don't know that the body has been fully recovered. I saw reports that that Miranda's body may be in a dump. And yeah, very sad. What can we do about this is the question. And that is the ultimate question here, because people do this kind of thing often. Jail time is not a deterrent. Why is that? Because people think that they can get away with crime because of the anonymity of the internet. They think that, and look at these people. They're like, it's like they're going on a picnic, a rainy, dark picnic, and Miranda's alleged body is in the trunk here. I believe that police wouldn't have charged them unless they had, possibly some DNA. They probably confiscated this car and pulled DNA somewhere either Miranda's DNA was inside the house somewhere or inside the car. And then here they are, just going on their picnic in the middle of the night while it's raining in Florida. And this child's body is slowly decomposing. And what can we do about this? People think that the anonymity of the internet, and as you saw, nothing is verified on that adult dating app. Just on adult dating apps in 2023, there were 62,372 child sex abuse reports on adult dating apps in 2023. We're expecting NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, to be releasing data soon for 2024. And the fear is that the trend since 2019, has been going upwards on all platforms. 30 million child sex abuse reports on meta platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Metaverse, WhatsApp. We need to stop this. Go on this website to learn more about Dating Square. If you have a single friend, recommend it to them. We can show these billion-dollar tech companies that it is something that they can't win, that they must not win. Because if it's that they can make billions of dollars on these garbage apps that allow this to happen, that allow people to meet up like this, that allow children to go on these apps, that allow adults to talk to children on dating apps like this, that they allow this to happen on their platforms. It doesn't matter what's in their terms of service or in their privacy policies or whatever. If you support them, and millions of people, hundreds of millions of people are on Grindr. Just on Grindr alone, of those 62,000 child sex abuse reports from 2023, just on Grindr alone, in 2023, 62,000 was total on dating apps reported. And just on Grindr, there was 45,073 child sex abuse reports. So the majority of child sex abuse happening on dating apps, on adult dating apps, is happening on Grindr. I'm not here to pick a fight with the LGBT community, but something needs to be done about this problem everywhere. This is happening on match group platforms. On match group platforms, last year, Ryan Reynolds sits on the board at Match Group. And 5%, Ryan Reynolds basically was responsible for 5% of child sex abuse reports that happened online last year, 2023, I should say. 3,469 child sex abuse reports happened on Match Group platforms under the management of Ryan Reynolds. They made $3 billion. This Dallas publicly traded company. Shareholders made profits of child sex abuse reports. Let that sink in for a minute and tell yourself, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Put it in the comments. I want to know. What can you do right now?